Carol L. Salisbury was born on December 25th, 1951 in Wyandotte, Michigan, to Joe Jack and Anna B. Salisbury, but she was raised and spent her whole life in the city of Ecorse. Carol was a graduate of Ecorse High School and later attended Henry Ford Community College. She served for 18 years on the Board of Education for Ecorse Public Schools, and for 20 years she was the business coordinator in the College of Education Division of Kinesiology, Health, and Sports Studies. Carol's roles in life included daughter, sister, and mother, but her greatest delight was in her role as grandmother. Carol had a smile and a laugh that will never be forgotten.
Carol Salisbury was a wonderful person, and I was blessed to know her, as we all were. We only have an inch of the depth of knowledge that she has and has taken along with her. The stories that she would tell would just warm your heart, and it was beyond our comprehension, the love that she felt for her family and her grandkids especially. Thank you for allowing us to have the time with Carol that we did.
What I most appreciated about Carol was her calm, level disposition. Carol was always agreeable, always got things done, and never upped my stress level. I always appreciated that part of her personality, and she will be sorely missed.
Oh, here's the thing I remember about Carol. I'd walk into her office, she'd have one hand centered on a ruler somewhere, one hand on a spreadsheet. She'd look up and she'd smile and say, "What can I do for you?" And I'd say, "Oh wait, Carol, I'll come back because it looks like you're busy right now." And she would say, "I'm not busy. What do you need?" And I would tell her, and she would pull a file out of somewhere, answer my question, and return to her spreadsheet and her spreadsheet. And that's the thing about Carol. People matter more than tasks. We could all afford to have a little bit more of that in our life.
I had the privilege of knowing Carol the entire time I've been at Wayne State. Over those many years, she's been instrumental in helping myself, our other faculty, the division, and the college succeed. It was a pleasure working with her in various different ways, and she's just going to be sorely missed.
What I remember about Carol is, and I appreciated the most, was everything she did for us, obviously, and for me being new faculty here in the last 2 years. But every morning when I would come in at 7 in the morning, she'd be the first person I'd see at 8:30. And she'd always say, "How's Mario doing today?" And she'd always ask about my little boy who was born 2 weeks after I was hired here. And she asked about him all the way until I saw her last week. Miss you and love you, Carol.
I have many fond memories of Carol Salisbury, including her quick smile, her witty retorts, and the way that she was always the first one to RSVP to a party. Carol was actually the first person that I met on my first day at Wayne State as a graduate assistant when I was a master's student 15 years ago. I remember coming into the office on the first day of my contract, and I was wearing a suit, very nervous, but very professional. I came in and pretty much told her that I had no idea where I was supposed to be or what I was supposed to be doing because I had just been hired. In that matter-of-fact way that Carol always had, she said to me, "Honey, I don't know what your job will be or where you're going to sit, but you're probably teaching weightlifting, so you're overdressed." But then she started to laugh and she invited me to sit down, and I learned all about her family and her beloved grandkids. She fiercely loved her family, including her KHS family here at Wayne State, and she will certainly be missed.
So my best memory of Carol is when she came to my son's high school graduation party, and of course she brought her children, her grandchildren with her, but she also ran into a cousin, which is my childhood neighbor, and they ended up being cousins. So they took a family photo together, so I thought I would put it in a picture for Pamela and her kids to see.
Carol was always such a genuine person. I'll never forget how many times she asked me about my kids and how they were doing. And one of the things that I love doing is bringing my kids into campus, because the first thing they would do when they got here was they would see Carol at her office, and she always wanted to hold them and she would give them high fives and hugs, and she was just such a loving and genuine person. We're gonna miss you, Carol.
So I first met Carol when I was doing my master's in 2010, and then that's when our relationship started. And she has been like everything to me. Literally used to work her last nerve. I used to email her about class overrides, about paperwork, about anything that just had to do with my life, and I miss her daily. And I think the most important thing that I miss about her is just her laugh and her smile, right? And how I would just pop in her office and we would talk, and oh, she was like the best when it came to like the pictures and stuff she had of like her grandkids and everybody. She introduced me to Shutterfly. I promise you, she's the reason why I have an addiction to Shutterfly.
So there's just too many good memories of Carol to share, but my favorite memories of Carol are her willingness to share in the daily joys of life and her good mornings and good afternoons every day. So I'm going to miss you so much, Carol, and I'm going to miss doing your sweet treat runs for you throughout the day. I'm going to miss you and love you lots.
Carol called me Juan Carlos, which is like, that lets everyone know that she's seen me growing up since I was a kid. She was so great. When I first started working, she helped me out. She told me exactly what she needed from me, and she always smiled. And I remember she was at my graduation party, and she was just so talkative with all my family, and everyone loved her. And it was truly a blessing to know Carol.
Pam, it just seems only yesterday that you were one of my students in the class, and I remember talking about you with your mom a lot, and she was always proud of you, of your accomplishments. It's hard to figure out what the fondest memories. The fondest memories I think of your mom was her sense of humor and her encounters with the various people she had, from the people that would enter the house to do maintenance work to the people that she would meet outside of the university. And the way she would relate the encounters, whether with them or with other family members or at family get-togethers, she would have me laughing so hard one minute and then completely flabbergasted, mouth open the next. So she was a person, though, that she was my go-to person. I have a problem, see Carol. I have a problem with this, see Carol. I have, even with 75 with being shut down, Carol, what's the best way to home, to an alternate route? She had the answer. So the impact that she left behind cannot be adequately expressed. She leaves a void behind that can never be filled, and her presence can never ever truly be replaced. So even now, I still expect to see her in the office every time I round that corner. So, and after every visit, she would always say, "Alrighty, I'll see you later."
Yeah, Carol is the best woman I've ever met. I will miss her forever. Okay.
We all want to believe our lives matter, that our time on this earth was not wasted, that we made a difference in the world and we left it a better place. Carol's life on earth is over, but her spirit will live on in the lives of those she touched for eternity. She will be remembered as a compassionate, caring, competent person who always had a smile. We know that we will see you again someday. For now, rest peacefully in the arms of our loving God, who welcomes you all too soon with the words, "This is my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased."